Well.
Hey, guys.
Well. If it isn't the next episode of Rala and Baby.
Rala and Baby. Rala and Baby. The big idea.
Boom. That was good.
Yeah, it can change.
Yeah, it's different sometimes.
Sometimes it's different. We're kind of getting sick of singing it.
Whoa.
That's what I thought in you.
Whoa.
I saw that in you.
Wow, really?
Your eyes kind of went back.
No, it wasn't that I was getting sick of it. I was thinking I gotta find a way to make that more fun for me to sing. That's what I thought. To me, totally different experience. I'm sick of it to I'm committed to it.
Yeah. Okay. Committed. I understand, actually, fully.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was not like I'm sick of this, it's got to change. It was like I got to change because I'm committed.
Personally, first of all, this is an amazing lesson already in the first minute of the show.
Yeah.
And I take that wholeheartedly home with me. Second of all,
yeah.
I didn't even feel sick of it. I actually embodied what I thought you were feeling, and I verbalized it to give you an opportunity to say what you were feeling.
Wow, really interesting.
Well, this is the way that I work today. But could change. Could change. And now these little shoes, they're going off.
Wow, both of us shoes off.
And it doesn't even stink in here.
Thank God. One time, what happened was, I was wearing these woolen socks for like 2 or 3 weeks.
A little bit long. 2 to 3 weeks?
A long time.
Are you being serious with that?
I don't think 2 to 3 weeks. But
Abby.
like long. And I was walking around thinking, wow, it's amazing wool. It's amazing that wool doesn't stink.
Come on about that.
Like that it's like immune to stinking. And then I was like, wow, that's actually really incredible. And then I like wore them on a plane and I wore them for like 3 days, like walking around London, and I was like sleeping in your bed with you. And at some point you were like, your socks really smell. And I was like, that's impossible.
I was like, it reeks in here.
Like,
and I know where it's coming from.
Possible because wool doesn't smell. And then I smelled my socks and they smelled really bad. And I have at least like a little bit, and I just don't think I'm a really stinky person, and I also really hope that people will tell me if I am. But when that happened, when it was reflected back to me, I was like, that's impossible.
She said that's impossible. I said, okay, just because you're 6'2" and far away from your socks doesn't mean I am.
And then I smelled them and they really smelled. And then today,
I did not know 2 to 3 weeks. That's crazy.
I'm not sure actually. In my head it has become 2 to 3 weeks. It was definitely like I wore them every single day that I was there. And I was just like, wow, because it was cold outside and these are like woolen socks. I was like, they're Red Wing socks. I was like, wow, these are really just, wool is a magical fabric, I thought.
Well, newsflash, it ain't.
Newsflash, it ain't. And I kind of put myself in the same position accidentally today. I put on those warms, and these are synthetic. I know they're not even wool. They're not even have the
Come
thing.
on about that.
But I feel like I'm more sensitive to it this time because I'm
because of my lived experience.
because I did have some lived experience where, in fact, they did smell.
Yeah, and I am very sensitive to smells. I am.
Yeah.
And also, like, I have had this, like, I have been told, like, I'm too sensitive to smell. Like, I should, like, well, also, it's not my fault, but I had an ex-boyfriend who didn't have any sense of smell. And I was like,
You
know
had to do
this
all
stinks.
the work. You had to do all the work.
Yeah, but then he was like, it's impossible that it stinks as bad as you're saying. I'm going, it does.
But I like that about you in general.
Thanks,
because
girl.
also a thing that I think is like sometimes like when you know somebody, when there's like somebody you know that has bad breath and you're like, I'm not in the position to tell this person. I like that you are really sensitive to it and you would tell me.
Yeah.
Thank
Also,
God.
my mom says, because I'm like, I have a hard time with like eye boogers and like food stuff in the teeth and stuff. And like, I'm kind of like, I can find a way to say this.
Yep.
Which is a lesson that comes from my sister's husband's mother. She says, if I were to leave one thing for my children, it's the lesson you can say anything.
That's nice. That's
It
good.
is just about how you say it.
Yeah.
I really believe that to be true.
I don't think you can say it to these people that smell bad in their breath all the time.
I do.
I think it is a disease.
Yeah, but they can get that fixed, that disease. It's not like Halitosis?
I don't know.
You have to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I'm not going to send anybody to the doctor about that. Actually, yesterday I was talking to my friend Hannah Gadsby.
Come on, drop it in.
Very cool, very cool. And they were saying that their dog barks only at this one lady at the gym, and that they're starting to worry that that lady has cancer. But like, imagine your dog barks at only one lady, and then you're like, it probably means you're like you have like the smell of death on you or something.
Oh my God, don't.
I don't know. Maybe they were just kidding, but I've been really thinking about it.
I mean, there is dogs that can smell Parkinson's also. That's like a thing. It's like there's like a sebum sort of thing that your body secretes. Your body decreases, you wish. It's actually secreting.
Now I'm like worried that the one lady that the dog barks at is listening to our podcast. And now I just delivered really serious news to her.
I mean, if so, lady, please get yourself checked out. We wish you well. Come on, take the opportunity. Don't worry about the fact that we're talking about you.
Don't worry
Take
about
the opportunity.
Don't worry.
I'm dressed in a way that's not good. For 3 episodes. Yuck. Anyways, whatever. Dogs and breath and my mom says that right now during Christmas, she said, "Can you please practice that whenever I have an eye booger or a booger," because my mom is so funny. She has like an amazing, like very thin, like sort of like up nose. And so you can always see when she has boogers.
Oh, yeah. These people with, that's hard.
Yeah. And she always, whenever I tell her like she has a booger, she's like, it's because of my, like, I'm lucky with my nose. Like she says something about like, it's like the curse of having a beautiful nose or something. That's what she says immediately. It's very funny. And what's it called? She just like, it's very cortante, like very like shutting every time. Like it cuts you off. Like no matter what feeling you're having, now I'm having a booger. And then it's like, now I have to, like now it's like this new reality I'm in where there's a booger and like I have to worry about my physical appearance. Like I just wish that you wouldn't mention it. Like get over the way you feel about it. And I'm going, okay, I'll try. And then the whole time I'm talking to her, I'm thinking booger, 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 booger. And it's like, do you want me to be thinking that? No, obviously. I can learn to go, I just don't have to look at this. It actually did happen to me that one time that was crazy, that I had that airplane flight with that guy who told me something, which I'm not going to talk about what he said, but he would just like sent me a very clear message about everything going to be okay. Remember that Christian man in the flight? It was like really overwhelming, like similarities in our life and stuff. And we talked the whole time. And the whole time he had like so many eye boogers. I couldn't even believe it. And I was just like, this conversation is much more important than an eye booger. I kept saying like, just like look at his other side of the eye. Look at his other side.
It is true that I feel like that is an opportunity when I have that too. Like I do think if I know you, I'm saying.
Yes.
If I know you, I'm saying. If I don't know you, but I feel like you're going to look in the mirror afterwards and you're going to be embarrassed.
Upset, yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Food in the mouth is so easy, that one.
Yeah, that's the easiest ones. Everybody got to eat.
Yeah, and you just go, by the way, you got a tiny little thing in the side of your nose. Mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm telling people a lot. Definitely if I have any kind of relationship with them at all. Yeah. Unless I feel like it can't be fixed. And and then I'm like, yeah.
For me, that one, like the halitosis one, it is like important if I'm going to have a relationship with this person. And like, if this is the thing that's stopping me from having a relationship with this person, both of those reasons are a reason for me to do it. And to say, I have to tell you something. I don't want to tell you, but I think that you would want to know. I would want to know.
Have you ever done it?
I have not done it.
Yeah. I think you're like...
talking out my asshole.
Yeah, I really think. I think. Because, yes, I actually do think... I believe you that you would do this eventually.
I believe myself.
But like after a lot of thinking about it, I think.
Yes. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying I would try.
I have told someone because they was like, I was in a relationship where I knew they would want to know. I knew they knew how I felt about this.
I actually did do it one time. Diedrich. I told Diedrich that his armpit stunk.
Diedrich's one of our listeners.
I told him. Because he was like not wearing deodorant.
Yeah. And he's also like 15 years old.
Yeah. Except he
one of our 15-year-old listeners.
There he is. There he is. There he is.
He's not.
No, he's
He's
26.
There he is.
There he is. There he is. We
This
love
is
him.
a
We
clip.
talk about him
Make this a
every
clip.
episode.
Whoever's looking at this, who's ever trying to clip it out, clip this out.
Clip this out.
Yeah, this should be clipped.
And make sure that this goes viral somewhere. Make it go viral. Whoever's clipping this, make this go viral. Make this viral.
Clip this. Clip this. Clip
Make sure
this.
you zoom into every single one of our hands. I can do it with foot. Get that down! Get that shit down! Hide that shit, synthetic ass fucking wool ass. Anyways, I told
You
him.
told him. You told him.
I told him in our trip in Italy, I said, buddy, I have to tell you something.
But that's okay. That's not even a scary one at all. Because
Yes,
Dietrich
it
is
is.
absolutely the kind of person that wants you to tell, also would tell you, also
I
would,
don't know that he would tell me if my armpit stunk.
he would, no, if I told you that your armpit stunk,
Yeah.
he would be like,
Yeah, but like, like telling someone that their armpits stink, kind of a big one.
maybe.
It's not as bad as breath, but it
I
is a
don't
big
think
one.
it's as bad as breath because it doesn't feel like it's like part of you in the same way. I feel like breath is like,
Your insides.
it's your insides that's,
Oh, yeah, B.
it's your insides. You know?
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. Like
Yeah.
that's like, oh, like I can smell you and it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, when it's like morning breath, that I will say.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's not your fault. You've just been sleeping for a long time. And I'll go, hey, I love you, but don't talk to me right now. That's kind of the way.
Yeah.
I can do that one. I've done that one lots. But like, yeah, overall. But then there's like a health thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, have we been talking about this too long?
I think so. I think so, but I want you to know that what I was thinking was like, I got to find a way to get interested in this conversation.
Abby, just change it.
I was kidding. What that was a callback.
Was it? Oh my God, I don't think so.
It was a little bit of callback.
It definitely was
Yeah.
a callback, but was that the main reason?
Well, it was.
Come on.
Well, I was like, how much longer? I thought.
No much longer. I was feeling the same thing. What do you think? I don't have a sensitivity?
God, we're so nice. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the big idea.
Yeah, and the big idea for this one is Plato's Symposium. Which, if you listen to the last
I
one,
love this podcast.
it's just right, this podcast. What were we going to do? Not do this? We're about to do 7 to 12 episodes today.
This is about Plato's Symposium. Okay, and here's an important thing to know is that what we were almost getting at in the last episode and what we are going to get to this time is you almost people are reading, when they're interested in something, they're almost reading too much of it.
Yeah.
You should read a little bit at a time. You could read one sentence and get the whole day out of that sentence if it's a good enough sentence.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a half a page of Jack Kerouac we've been reading to ourselves and crying.
I have it.
I was thinking maybe we read them.
I was thinking also.
Okay, great.
Do you want to read it? Because I read it to you.
Well, maybe you read some and then you pass it to me.
Great.
Yesterday when you read it to me, I thought it would be so nice to read it at the same time together sometime.
Why don't we read it at the same time right now?
I think hard. Okay.
We haven't done anything together. Maybe we should be in a way that, like,
That's nice.
you think it'll stay here? Because the thing about the auto is that it'll move. Okay.
Okay.
Look, it's just me. But whatever. It can move.
It can move.
Okay.
Remember, above all things, kid, that to write is not difficult, not painful, that it comes out of you with ease, that you can whip up a little tale in no time, and when you are sincere about it, that when you want to impress a truth, it is not difficult, not painful, but easy, graceful, full of smooth power, as if you were a writing machine with a store of literature that is boundless, enormous, endless, and rich. I was going to do that too.
Go for it.
Oh, wow. For it is true. This is so. Do not forget it in your gloomier moments. Make your stuff warm. Drive it home. Don't mind critics. Don't mind the stuffy academic theses of scholars. They don't know what you're talking about. They're way off the track. They're cold. You're warm. You're red hot. You can write all day. You know what you know. You remember that, kid. And when you feel as if you cannot write, as if it's no use, as if life is no good, read this over and realize that you can do a lot of good in this world by turning out truths like these, by spreading warmth, by trying to preach living for life's sake, not the intellectual way, but the warm way, the way of love, the way which says, brothers, I greet you with open arms. I accept your frailties. I offer you my frailties. Let us gather and run the gamut of rich human existence. Remember, kid, the ease, the grace, the glory, the greatness of your art. Remember it, never forget. Remember passion.
Do not forget. Do not forsake. Do not forget. It is there, the order and the purpose. There is chaos, but not in you. Not way down deep in your heart. No chaos. Only ease, grace, beauty, love, greatness. Do not forget it, kid. Do not forget it. Please, please, kid, do not forget yourself. Save that. Save that. Preserve yourself. Turn out those mean little old tales by the dozen. It is easy. It is grace. Drive it home. Sell truth, for it needs to be sold. Remember, kid, what I say to you tonight. Never forget it. Read this over in your gloomier moments and never, never forget. Never, never, never forget. Please, please, kid, please. Jack Kerouac. Well, what the friggin' hell?
Pretty good, Jack. Pretty
Pretty
good.
good, Jack. Hey, how about you don't hit the road?
But yeah, that is like, we've been reading that over and over again.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool way of like being both of us caring about the same thing in a way that was a little bit different and really nice. Because like I sent that to you and then you printed it out.
Yeah.
And then now I get to have it printed because it's like we can notice the things that's really special about us. It's like we give room. Well, that's really what it's like to be seen totally and like appreciated. That is like what you say and how you say it is a gift to me if I am able to see it as a gift. And then I'm able to take it, make it my own, do something with it that's mine, and then return that to you. And now I get to do something with it again after it's been digested through a person I love the shit out of. That's very cool.
It is very cool.
And now I have it printed.
Yeah, I printed 2 copies.
Thank you. That was awesome.
You sent it to the group chat with me and Diedrich, one of our listeners.
One of our listeners. We
Diedrich.
wish him well.
Wow. But yeah, that one, it's like that whole thing I love. I love the whole thing of it. But there's like 2 or 3 moments in it that make me drop my neck to the chin. And then there's one part I don't like.
What is it?
That you write like a machine. That's when I go, shut up. I'm like, don't wanna. But that was because he was writing it at a different time, and that was like a different, exciting thought. And
right,
now,
a machine felt different. To
yeah.
them.
And now
like,
hearing that is like in fact, the most important and sacred thing
don't.
about me is I don't write like a machine.
I always gloss over that. I don't even really notice it.
Yeah, it makes me close up, and then I open right back up.
As if you were a writing machine with a store of literature that is boundless.
Yeah, because the boundless part gets me right back
That's
open.
exactly what I've always focused on, the boundless thing. Because boundlessness is like, it's a new word in my life. And it's like, it's seriously in my life. Like now boundless is like, I don't think I ever even actually heard it before this year, like in a serious way. You know when a word will enter like that?
Yeah.
Do you have one right now, recent? I'm having a couple that I'm like, oh, like if we were doing theme of the week, like I've like felt like theme of the week style.
Well, access, I feel like. I feel like that is one I've been like saying a lot. That's like that it means something to me now that it didn't really mean before, which is like what I am capable of because of what is around me. Like what the doors that open from the room I'm in can lead me to. And so I've been saying it a lot. Like obviously we are here together in Australia and we're working together. We're working together on your show. You helped me make my show that I'm doing here. Like the And so we're giving interviews about that kind of thing. And so like I've been thinking about it about you and also like my partner, Yul, like the access I have to different parts of my life because of these relationships. That's one, access.
An awesome one.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I like it feels like buzzwordy, but I'm like, but this is like I mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've been thinking like also wait, theme of the week was maybe what we were gonna do a podcast about. Like that's what we thought.
I think this is kind of like because I think the big idea is almost exactly theme of the week. It's
but
just
no time constraint.
Right. We were just like we can do 3 on a day then.
Yeah.
But like the theme of the week is because we are constantly in conversation throughout our lives, and we're like having like 3-hour-long conversations, which before there was a podcast was just for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we would kind of come to this conclusion a lot of the time at the end of these conversations where we're like, oh, this is what we're focusing on right now.
Yeah.
And like, and because we're moving towards each other with such like force and generosity and openness, we're like able to see, like to match up things in a really nice way.
Yeah. And like also it's that pattern thing when you start recognizing that like you are focusing on one thing. It's like you start seeing how all the other things are kind of about that too. And like you're able to look at it from a different way. For me, I've been having like, I definitely had like relevance was a big part of my last maybe 2 weeks. I was like, maybe longer, probably in February, it was relevance. Like I keep noticing like, if I decide I am an artist, which is recent, but I am, now I know, like, that's my life's work. Like, I'm an artist. If I decide that to be true, then what is relevant to me is what I am interested in. And what I am interested in is all I can really look at. And, like, which actually kind of gives an answer to the thing about the, that I was saying just earlier in the last podcast about, which maybe I shouldn't reference it, but yeah, you probably should have listened to it. Definitely for this one. What's it called? About like reading like Game of Thrones style, like sci-fi type thing, which is like what is relevant to me about the fact that I'm not interested in them. That is relevant to me too. The fact that I have a bit of things like aversions are relevant to me. It's not only what I am looking at, it's also what I am not looking at, which is like a really nice way to look at my life, which is like everything is relevant, sort of, because of the fact that my feelings towards it are the relevant part. And if I have feelings, whether positive or negative, those are feelings nonetheless. And I'm not only looking at the positive ones. You should watch my show. But relevance was big. And then now it's become capacity. Capacity is a new word that I'm saying a lot. And it's similar to access. But it's not fully the exact same thing because it's like, it's not about like who, like it's about, yeah, like the doors that are open to me, but it's also about like the ones that I already come with open.
Yeah.
And like how I can relate to that in a way that feels really connected to what I want to be connected to, because that's another thing that we've been talking about, which is like you can have a lot of different ways of looking at something, but you can choose about which ones you like.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about the access too, is like I gave 2 examples that were people, but it's also like comedy gives me access to self-reflection in this way. But what I like about this like thought of access is that like because you can doesn't mean that you do. And that you're like, I'm in the room that I'm in and I have these doors and like I can like go. Yeah, I don't know. There's something really connected to the capacity thing.
Yeah.
It's like what gives me capacity and what I choose to do with that. What you were just saying about relevance reminded me of a conversation I had with Marty Gleason, very funny comedian who's debuting at the Edinburgh Fringe this year.
Definitely watch that.
They're going to be definitely watching that. Dog Ear, great name.
And the poster is fucking cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, but she was... I was talking to her about like making my first show, and like I was voice noted her. She's a very satisfying person to voice note with because she does also, you do this, we do this together, where like reflects back what you said. That's nice.
It's nice. I love voice notes.
Yeah, me too.
Voice notes are really special. You really get to also like extend yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
you really get to think as yourself.
Yes.
But like towards another person.
I know.
That's awesome.
That's awesome about it.
Yeah, and you get to make notes while your friend is talking about what you want to... Well,
yeah, it's just
great.
a really active sort of process in general. Yeah, I like him a lot.
But Marty, you asked me something about how you know like what your show is supposed to be about or something. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like whatever, if you are really giving yourself entirely over to it, you will show up in whatever, like you will decide. I don't think it like doesn't matter, but I think if it's like, if you're connecting to the feeling that you want to create in a show, you can make it about like a dinosaur on a train, or you could make it about like the death of your lover. And like you, if you show up in it, it will like, it will be relevant to the things that you have to say right now.
Now is the time of monsters. Josie Long show is a perfect example of that. It's
Yes,
about
yeah, that's a beautiful show.
Beautiful.
Oh
so
man,
funny.
and maybe the last time she's gonna perform it live here, but it's gonna be an awesome.
I was literally thinking about that this morning.
show.
Like, how did I not go to that? I could have also. I think I fucked up there.
Well, I think probably you'll have other opportunities, and she's making an incredible filmed version that is going to be incredible, and everybody's going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
So, but there's like a lot of that is about like prehistoric animals.
Yeah.
And it's also about everything in her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect example.
Yeah. Perfect example.
Yeah.
And that also feels like about, when you think about like what's your show about, like you find out what your show is about. So it's obviously amazing and every time different, whatever you're like, the way you move toward doing a show. And also like, this is a nice thing that you're starting to think about now because like you're on to your next one already. And it's like, it's interesting when you give yourself enough time also to like let things show up in yourself that you keep repeating and you go, this is something for sure. The way that I came up with like the beginning part of my show was like, this is like, I know something happened to me and like it felt like, so this is something. Many things happen all of the time, but like
Many things happen all of the time.
and I'll go ahead and say that. But when I have an altercation with a person that is a stranger to me, and I have feelings about the way in which I react to them, and also like because of the friend that I am with, I let myself be poetic about my response to it already in the small time in which it happened, because a man's rude to me in a museum and my friend Paulina and I end up writing a letter to him. All of that happens in a way that's like, this is beautiful and complete. And when something is complete like that, that's like a click in thing. You might not know what you're clicking in about. And this is, of course, a metaphor that you already understand because you've listened to this podcast. And if you don't, probably listen to one of the ones that's called episode 1.
one of the 3 or 4 that's called episode 1. Okay.
A click in thing that's like,
Can I recap this to make sure I understand this?
yeah, because I'm being a bit sparse.
Mm.
Okay.
But when you say click in, I think about like the way like a puzzle piece clicks in and like, oh, things make sense. But you were saying it like when you're rock climbing.
Never done.
Never
No,
done.
I've done.
You've done. You're rock climbing. When you get to each like higher state, you have to click in to a new place so that if you fall up higher, you only fall to the point where you last clicked in.
Yeah.
So it's like a level up kind of situation where it's like, even if something bad happens from here, you're going back to this point where you like really got to.
Yeah.
And like affirmed you got
there.
to with a carabiner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing that's cool about like having clicked in is that you can only click in if you were there. If you got there for real. If you had the equipment to click in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also like if you knew how to do it, because this is you're like in the middle of the.
This is very pistachio nutty, very much.
Pretty,
Yeah.
Yeah, there is like that, like which by the way, go ahead.
Yeah, well, one time when I was at a Quaker meeting, because now we go to Quaker meetings.
Yeah, well, we didn't go this
We
week.
didn't go this week. It was Easter. It felt like it would be too much.
It was too much.
And we're dabbling.
And everything.
We're enthusiastically dabbling, but like.
And yeah, this is actually exactly where we don't have to go to every freaking, we're discovering.
We're discovering. Anyway, we've been discovering Quaker meetings, and one time I was at one. I've been going since like the beginning of this year. I started going in Copenhagen, and I had this and then I was in one that was like a guided meditation one, which is not what they're always like, but there was a really nice guy named Niz, and he was doing like a guided meditation. It was in also Danish, which is a language that I understand, but not by choice. And and so, which is kind of nice for things like this, because then there's like a little bit of liberation in doing exactly what is being said, because I do know that there's about 20 to 30% of what is being said that I might not be understanding. So it's this.
It's very interesting.
It's interesting.
In my experience.
Yes, in your experience as a hard of hearing person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We did talk about this, but every time I think about it, it does feel like a realization that my experience living in Denmark, I do think helps me understand your experience as being hard of hearing a little bit.
Yeah. When I'm not wearing my hearing aids, even when I am, like in like meditations, meditation is for me like, yeah, okay, say some stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. And
fully.
your show does this really beautifully.
Thanks.
Is like
We made it together.
It engages with like this idea of like what you can benefit from knowing that you don't know, and also the challenges of not knowing.
Yeah.
And how those rub up against each other. That's an incredible thing that you are exploring in this show.
This is a good sort of thing that I should say when people say, what's my show about? Because I kind of don't say that.
Yeah. And that I think is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
It's like we can all see as the audience what you have gained by like leaning towards the mystery, and we get to like experience that watching you. And you kind of come against it in this being like, wow, what if things weren't hard? And that moved you this year.
Big time.
And it moves us every time we get to watch you.
I had a really nice crying man yesterday. Really nice.
That's really nice.
It was really, really nice. He wrote me that it floored him and that he would like to get a coffee with me and tell me stuff about like how he felt. And I think I'm gonna.
That's nice.
Yeah,
but
I was
also
thinking,
you could be like, you ever heard of voice notes?
Yeah, also. If you want. Yeah, also, I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
yeah, who knows?
I think it's okay. Like, I think you can do both. Stay open to him and not close that down, and also be like, but yeah, also whatever.
Totally.
Be safe.
If you can.
If you can.
Yeah, okay. So you were there. There was a guided meditation.
There was a guided meditation. It was about problems, and it was this one. One time I went, and it was about like personal problems in your own life, and one time it was about problems in the world. And the first one was about problems in your own life, and this was maybe actually the first Quaker meeting I went to, and they were like, "This is not how it usually is," and I was like, "Okay." But then he was talking about like, okay, first, like think about some problems in your, I was like, I'm going to be great at this. I can think about some problems. And then I like he was like, choose one. And I chose one. And so like the idea of in a Quaker meeting is that you're like there and like you're looking at anything that occurs to you, like could be like divine, could be like from God, could be from like the part of you that knows things that you don't know all the time. And so he's like,
Beautiful
pick a problem.
That last one.
Oh, thanks. What did I say?
It's a part of you that knows things that you don't know.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Yeah, that's good.
And the first thing I thought it was like, how do I be closer to my kids? Like, how do I have it? And it was just like that was basically like, and then the answer was like look at them like with wonder, like oh like wow, like just like wow, marvel at them was kind of the thing. But my response inside of myself, inside of my knowing self that doesn't know, was like, shut up, who cares, obviously. And then I had this image come to me that was like that like was like, oh, like okay, well problems are like everybody has a bag of pistachio nuts in their heart, and that's your problems that you have to deal with. And because this was a time where I was like in a Quaker meeting where you're supposed to engage with these thoughts, I didn't just like push it aside. I was like walked around this metaphor, and it was like, okay, well then if that's true, then like what? You have to like get to the bottom of the bag. Like what happens if you don't open all the pistachios in your bag? I'm like, do you like not go to heaven or like what? Like I'm like a little bit skeptical because I'm not really Christian in the way that the Quakers are. But I'm curious and I'm engaging in this idea that people can sit together and that like setting aside time to be open, to have your heart open and to engage with yourself like more as possible is of value and is as a worthy way to spend a couple hours of my week. And so I'm like looking at this and then this answer
Can I just say also, like, it's so crazy that we even have to say, like, because I'm not a Christian, but I still want to engage with my thoughts and, like, contemplation.
Yeah.
It's upsetting to me. I get upset.
Yeah.
Okay. And continue. And you engage with your thought for real. Oh my God. God sue you.
God sue me. And then
that's funny. God sue me. Okay.
God sue me. And then so I'm like, what happens then? You don't get to go to heaven. What? And then the answer is like, no, like then other people have to deal with it. Like whatever you don't open. And then it was like this idea that like every problem that you encounter is one that you can either just like open easily and solve and like chuck in your mouth and it's a pistachio nut, or you have to struggle with. Like sometimes they're hard to open. Sometimes they hurt your fingers. Sometimes like you cannot get them. Sometimes you have to hand it to someone else for help. Sometimes you got to get a tool out. And sometimes you just put them back in the goddamn bag because that's like what you have to deal with, or you throw them on the ground. And that was just like, oh, right. It was just a way that I could see like engaging with your own struggles is actually like a gift to, it's like for everyone that you would do that.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, one way it's very clear if I don't deal with my shit, then other people have to deal with it because I have kids. So like they have to deal with it. But it didn't feel like that was like the only thing. It was like, oh, right, everybody. And anytime you are engaging with something that is a struggle for you, you can, and sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. And sometimes you can't and you don't have capacity. You don't have like access to the things you need and you cannot. That is just like, okay, that's okay. And it's great if you come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, first of all, how cool we can do that with metaphors and like understand something by just like mapping it. I mean, that's a cool thing about improv also, that like sort of map thing that people do is like you like come up with a premise and then like you can map it onto like a whole nother situation and like look at it again with fresh eyes. Like a metaphor will really let you do that, and you're so good at that. And like really, I get to be good at it because you're good at it. Anyways, one thing to say about that is I like have been thinking about that also like during this holidays, like about like not specifically the pistachio thing, but like the like fact that your family, like your nuclear family is like your pistachio bag a lot of times for like the majority of your life. I was thinking about that also because it's so funny. I used to like, I talked about that on this comedy nerd podcast that I've already referenced twice, but that I was like, when I was going on dates in the beginning, when I like moved to the Netherlands and I was like lost as hell in 21 and like I felt lost. I felt like, okay, everything felt like I don't even know what's going on. New country, new everything. No friends at all, like didn't know one person. And I was going on these dates and all I would talk about was my parents. And like, it was so funny. Like I'm going with these dates, these men are 30 and I'm 21. And I'm like, the only thing I can reference are my family's like stories because I haven't lived any yet. And it's like so funny to be in this place where, and also so clarifying to see like how, for me specifically in the way that I engage with my life, like in the beginning, all my nuts were my family's nuts. And like I like was like dealing with them and like looking at them in order to like look at myself and like seeing myself through the like how they open their nuts and then like not knowing what my nuts are, still thinking that my nuts are their nuts. And at some point some of my nuts are their nuts for sure. And also it's interesting that if you don't deal with them in like the family way, which is the thing that my older sister who's gonna have children soon, and she's like really like thinking about this in a really sweet and like incredibly endearing way, where she's like, whenever I'm with my sisters, me and Maya, Gala want to kill us sometimes. Not always, but like there are these moments where like she cannot handle the way she feels, and it doesn't happen to her so often. It only happens to her in the family dynamic, a trigger town thing, whatever. But also like, she's like, she knows, like if she doesn't engage with this relationship, the one that was given to her, to engage with this feeling of genuine frustration at difference. That's what it is. It's like she cannot handle the difference. With Maya and her, they are just so far away in like the spectrum of how they handle things and how they deal with stuff. And it is eternally frustrating for Gala that she becomes red hot, like angry. And she's like, I just know that I'm going to have a kid that is Maya. It's like, I better just engage with this now because it's going to be so much harder with my kid. And it's like, even if it's not true, that's a perfect thing to think.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so like mature and smart, and like she's going to therapy now, and like because she's like, yeah, clearly it does feel to me, and it does feel to me like life is here to teach you some shit. If you don't learn it with the first one, you're gonna learn it with the second one. I mean, that's a Ram Dass thing also, which is like, yeah, like in one of his like speeches about relationships. Talks that he gives, somebody asked him like, I just broke up with my partner, like we couldn't figure it out, and like I just keep feeling like, when am I ever gonna find my soulmate? Like, when am I gonna find my soulmate? Like, do you think there's soulmates? And also like, do you think I'll find mine? Like somebody asking him that at the end of the talk, and he says, the thing is that people are here, like it might, I know she didn't believe in this thing of soulmates, not like that. It's like, it's who you choose to do your yoga of relationships with. I love that idea. It's like, it's who you choose to. And some people it's harder for you to do it with. And so you can't. And that's okay. Sometimes you can't like figure out that, like with, it's like you give your pistachio to somebody and they go, I cannot open this. But you give it to somebody else and they can. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong or that you're not going to be able to open that pistachio. But then sometimes you open it and what you say is that, yeah, it's nasty and black on the inside. You go, I shouldn't
sometimes there's a worm.
Sometimes there's a worm.
Yeah.
So where I didn't even have to with that one.
Yeah.
But you should still try.
I mean, I think it really is. I think what felt good to me about that is that with like literally with actual pistachios, sometimes you're just like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And you don't feel any judgment. You're not like, I should not have tried harder about that pistachio. Like that pistachio could have been the one pistachio. It just felt like there's something about like the communal labor of like trying that like I believed from that and didn't make me feel guilty. Like it's like I am trying with what I can try on. I cannot try on everyone single thing for as long as everyone needs me to try.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking like, also sometimes you get one and you're like, you know, this is the one you got to open. That feels different than the actual metaphor.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there are like my children are pistachios that I'm going to keep working on even when my fingers hurt because I understand those are important ones. Like, yeah, but like not every single one has to be like that. Sometimes you could be like, gotta give myself a break on this one.
Yeah. That's interesting also. Okay, I was trying to think back while you were talking just at this last children part. Sorry.
Messed up. How many minutes has it been now?
42.
Wow. Because the next episode is going to be about Plato's Symposium.
We're finally going to get onto it. But as you know, whenever you want to talk about Plato's Symposium, you need to do at least 1 hour 30 before where you're trying to get yourself riled up to go to there. And soon enough,
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, it's perfect. But what was this one about?
This one is about...
So we went, like, pistachio came from Click In, which came from...
Right, because then what I said that... Was it because the Click In was like the pistachio? Or you were starting to say something that was like... And I was like, oh, it's like that. Oh, yeah, so the Click In thing is like you've opened to the problem.
Yeah, but why were we talking about the Click In thing, I wonder?
Because...
Somebody's screaming into their phone right now.
Stop typing. Stop
typing. Put the phone down.
Because this one was halitosis.
We talked about that so long.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this episode is about?
No. But you know what? Maybe I can go in a little bit into Plato's Symposium.
Yeah.
Because I was writing about, okay, you know what it was?
Oh, you only need to read a little bit of something.
You only need to read a little bit of something because I didn't read anything, not a goddamn word of Plato's Symposium. Yeah. I just heard the 8-page recap that you gave me, 13 pages. And pages. And And it inspired me. Like, I was like, oh, great. And how do what the question I walked away from that was like, what is love? How can you tell it's love? Why are such disparate things in the same category?
Obviously, we should talk about that for a whole episode. Let's stop.
Okay.
And then we talk about that in the next one. Because are you kidding me? Were you going to give me 2 minutes of that? That's bullshit. This is important. This is almost the whole thing about everything. So,
but it is also really related to clicking in, so it's just like incredible. But we did say this was a 2-part episode,
and now a 3-part.
No, this is the first part of the
Right.
2-part episode where we were going to focus on the jingle, but we've instead
actually focused on Plato's Symposium, which actually led us to talk about halitosis.
and that Jack Kerouac quote.
Yeah, that was good.
And the other part that really moves me about that is you have to sell the truth. That part we were moved in different ways about that.
For it need to be sold.
Yeah.
Is the one that got me.
Right, because say the part that you felt moved by.
Well, because I think that it's a lot of time there's something that feels like antithetical about like pulling one way, pulling another, where it's like if it's art and you're selling it, then it loses its value and like it doesn't like you're missing the point. But then also we live in a system where you must sell it, and also the selling it doesn't devalue it. For me personally, it is complicated, but for hearing for it needs to be sold is like there is also like value come from different sort of ways. Like you sometimes when you give things away for free, people don't value them as much, and
that's why you have to sell like $3 improv tickets
sometimes.
Because people won't come if it was free tickets. If they booked it, they're like, no one.
And it's like it's like use the tools at your disposal.
Use your tools at your disposal.
And that part moved me because it's a confirmation I want to hear scrammed.
Yeah.
And I really like that. And it feels like, yes, it does need to be sold. And also it is the truth. That both things are together, you know? Like it doesn't stop being the truth because it's being sold. And it feels like a permission to use the tools and use the system to play around inside of it, but also do the thing with it that allows it to maybe crack. Because it's like, yeah, if what you're selling is truth, then maybe we look at what else we're selling. That, to me, interesting.
Interesting.
And you got moved by?
I got moved by. I wasn't thinking about like the selling of tickets or the selling of.
It's because I'm a capitalist.
What I think we're learning here is that Lara is a capitalist.
That's what my boyfriend used to say to me.
Wow. And now X. But I got moved by the idea that like, if you know the truth, it feels like sometimes like, well, it's the truth. People should just know it. And like, you shouldn't have to like create a performance or like find a way to tell them because it's the truth and I know it. And so like you should know it too, unless maybe I'm wrong. But like the idea that the truth needs to be sold feels like to me like encouragement, like that you can find it and then it does. You need to put momentum behind it to get it to where it needs to go. And that there's something about being really clear with the truths that you find, that is like worth it and worthy and not like dumbing it down or like or taking away its value because you're like explaining it. Because like a lot of people are just believing things because they're getting sold, like because it's the common thing or it's the easiest thing. And I feel like it's like, to me, I felt like, right, there are some things I know. And I could just sit with them all alone on my own. And that would also erode my own belief in them because they're not what everyone else seems to know. Or I could like proselytize. I could create something where it says the thing I know so it gives people an opportunity to engage with that. I mean, I feel like that about that half paragraph that he wrote. He could have just kept that for himself. In fact, he did write it for himself. But I get to have that now, and now I'm like, right, that's true in a way that I know specifically now because I read it from someone else.
Yeah.
Even though there's something about me that does know that. I know I am a river of ideas that like I know it's like never ending and it is easy for me, but because that's not the common narrative around ideas and creation, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe it could run out. But it's nice to hear from somebody who made a lot of great stuff that actually I have not engaged with that much. I tried
I
to read
only
on.
engaged with the Dharma bums, and it made me feel a lot of stuff when I was maybe exactly 22.
I tried to read On the Road a lot of times because I thought that that's what I should do, and I was like, I just could not get behind the lack of capitalization at that point. But now I'm gonna go back because I loved this.
Yeah, but actually maybe start with the Dharma bums. It's funny and it's sweet.
Great.
And it stayed with me.
Great.
And I was little.
Oh, little. I'm gonna read it. And next one is going to be about the Dharma bums.
Finally, we've arrived to where we meaning to be going. Okay,
Rala
Rala Baby, ta ta,
Rala and Baby.
crap and shit.
The big idea. Boom, boom.
Brother.